My name is Alfonso Severos, and this is the Peripheral View. We're on the verge of 2021, a new year. One thing about the onset of this new year, some point during this time, most American adults, not only American, but adults around the world, have a decision to make. Whether to take the coronavirus vaccine or not. People, all of us, have to weigh our risk. Yes or no. Vaccine, possible virus. There's no longer denying the existence of the virus. When you look at the United States, when you have 3,000 people a day dying, and it's projected that over 450,000 people will die from this virus. And in fact, if you're part of the black and brown community, you're 2 to 4 times more likely to catch the virus and die. The numbers are staggering within the black and Latino community. So, do I take the vaccine or not? Well, let's look at some of the arguments against not taking it. People said, whoa, how could they develop a vaccine in such a short period of time? Well, it's very simple. This was a global effort. Some of the best scientists around the world. Plus, governments put fantastic amount of money into it. And the technology and the techniques developed to treat this virus is based on research that's been going on for over 10 years. They develop a whole new approach. They are not going to give you the virus. And that's another misconception. This vaccine gives you a small portion of genetic material, which is a small portion of the RNA messenger. Now, the cell has a nucleus with DNA and RNA, and so this is a small portion. It's not the virus. And it's been genetically engineered and encoded to identify the spikes that the virus has. It's amazing that they can do this kind of bioengineering. And it teaches the immune system to identify it and attack and destroy. So this vaccine, like every vaccine, enhances your own immune system to work more effectively. It's not that they're putting something in you to destroy the virus. It's your immune system that does that. So the idea that it was developed quickly is because new advancements and new technology, and they've been researching this for over 10 years. The idea of testing and its efficiency, they use the same method that we use to test every drug, the scientific method. This was tested, Pfizer's tested over 44,000 people in America, Brazil, and Argentina. Different race, ethnicity, age, weight, all the variables. The one group that it's inconclusive is 16 and under. So at this point, the vaccine will not be given to 16 and under. And they're less at risk. So you have to weigh based on the facts. Do I take this and vaccine or not? Now, if you decide to take the vaccine, it'll be in 2 doses. The first dose will produce about 50 to 52% immunity. 3 weeks later, you're given the second dose. That will produce about 95% immunity to the virus. Now, giving vaccines in dosage is not unusual. In childhood and early years, we get all these shots. And those are dosage of vaccines for polio, chickenpox, mumps, measles, you name it, 14 different diseases. In the old days, we used to give people the actual small portion of the actual virus to build up immunity. Uh, but this new RNA messenger method does not do that. So we don't worry that people are going to be given the virus. Uh, so we have to take that into account. Uh, now, the vaccine is going to be given around the world, not just America, but Africa, Europe. Asia developed its own variation of the vaccine that is about, according to them, 85% effective. So this is not anything targeted to any group of people. So black and brown people need to realize that. But I understand their caution. When you look at the history of public health in this country, and you look at the health treatment of black and brown people, you understand why we are skeptical. Going back from slavery, when James Sims experimented on black enslaved women without anesthesia. He also experimented on black children without anesthesia, operated, because they had the racist and inhuman and immoral position that blacks did not feel pain the way whites did. That went on. We look at the Tuskegee experiment, where they infected black men. That went on from the 1930s into the 1970s. Infected them with the syphilis virus to study the progression of the disease. And we now know that they infected 700 individuals in Guatemala to do the same, study the progression of the disease. So there is a lot of immoral behavior that occurred, and there's a lot of reason for suspicion. But we have to weigh the facts. Black and brown people are dying at 2 to 4 times a higher rate. And this virus is moving quickly throughout communities. And if we don't get vaccinated, the risk of developing it and eventual death is pretty high. So that's where we stand. And each person has to make their decision. And I implore you to make the decision not just on history. We know the history has been immoral in terms of the medical research done with black folks. But make it on the facts today. Your life may just depend on it. Thanks for watching.